Good Friday morning. Thank you for waking up with us on Daybreak. I'm Erica Lopez in for Dia Wall.
And I'm Matt Howard. So we're going to get to your weather and traffic in just a moment. But we want to begin with new details on that massive explosion that rocked Dallas's Oak Cliff neighborhood. The images are unbelievable. It leveled an apartment complex. And this morning we know that the NTSB is sending a team to Dallas to look into what happened. The federal agency is typically brought in to investigate when there is a significant gas explosion.
Chris Sadeghi is live there this morning. And Chris, we know that people this morning are still unaccounted for.
Yes, Erica, and that's why they're keeping us at least a block away from where the explosion happened. The rescue and recovery crews searching overnight as they look for more victims. Now, the fire might be out, but the depth of this tragedy, we're still trying to understand. We do know already 3 people have died, 2 women and 1 child, and there's fear that as those crews out here have moved from rescue into recovery, that they could find more victims in the rubble. A gas leak was reported here at the Clyde Apartments yesterday afternoon, but while a crew was on their way to the call, the building exploded. Early indications suggest a construction crew may have hit a natural gas line. Listen to this man who was here when the explosion happened.
I was standing over there and I seen a little girl was climbing out the debris. And I ran over there and helped her out, walked across the street, and I heard people who was inside screaming.
And here is a closer look at what is left of the building. Those recovery crews must now dig through all this debris, in some cases using their own 2 hands. Jason Evans with Dallas Fire Rescue got emotional while giving an update about this recovery.
There are a number of things that we are before we are first responders, and that is, excuse me. And when these first responders have to dig through that debris and they find some of the things they find, it's extremely traumatic.
Yeah, a very difficult task. I'm being joined this morning by Sherry Wilson, former Dallas firefighter, also an OSHA authorized trainer and inspector. We were talking earlier, when there is gas present, it takes very little to ignite explosions like this one.
Finds a source of static electricity, the right amount of oxygen, basic fire science.
Yeah, and we were also talking about, I mentioned the crew or someone called in a gas leak. Mm-hmm. And in the time that the crew was on their way to fix the leak, the explosion happened. Mm-hmm. So talk us through what should happen, the steps that should be taken once we know gas is present to make sure people are getting out of the way of danger.
Well, it's going to be evacuation. So if you hit a major gas line like that, you should start evacuating the public.
And is there anything that people need to know when it comes to just protecting themselves in any circumstance? We were talking about the gas pump. When you're at the gas pump, you need to be aware and how things can ignite quickly.
Keep your phone in the car, keep your keys on you, keep your doors locked, because if you are on your phone, it's a source of static electricity, and it makes your situational awareness go away, so somebody can attack you that way.
Something we don't often think about, but cases like this certainly bring that awareness to us that much more. Matt and Erica, back to you.
Chris, thank you so much. This morning, it's still unclear, as we've said, how many people are still unaccounted for, but we do know Sylvia Collins is missing. The Dallas Democratic Party confirmed that in a social media post. They say Collins is an advocate in the community.
I want to show you this video now, captured by a neighbor, a man escaping the chaos, still trying to process what just happened as he's led away. The property records there for this apartment complex show that 23 units were inside that building. Along with those hurt and unaccounted for, dozens more are suddenly without a home this morning. One woman told us that she had just moved in. Now everything she owns is gone, except the clothes on her back.
There's nothing left, nothing.
All of your stuff?
Everything I own, my kids' stuff, everything. Literally, this is all I have.
This morning, we know that the Red Cross is working with first responders, assessing the needs, and the community has stepped in too. Mission Oak Cliff is holding a donation drop-off this morning from 9 to noon. You can make a donation at its facility on Beckley Avenue. They're accepting bottled water, non-perishable food, gently used or new clothes, as well as diapers, formula wipes, and gift cards too. They're already planning a second drive on Monday, and you can always donate through missionoakcliff.org.
We'll have more on how you can help coming up in our next half hour, and stay with us for any new updates as they come into our newsroom. Now we do want to get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Greg Fields.
All right, let's get you out the door on this Friday morning, taking you out to Bear Park. Nice looking view there. Sun's starting to come up now. We'll have mostly clear skies for you as you head out the door. 72 degrees. It's a little bit on the warm side, and those temperatures will be a little bit warmer. You'll feel the difference here as we go through the day. Those upper 60s as you get out to Granbury here at 68, 70 coming over to Waxahachie along with Denton this morning, and those upper 60s heading out to Paris, Bonham along with Sherman and Gainesville all at 69. Now we do have another air quality alert in effect for today, so keep that in mind. Don't overdo it if you're going to be out and about late this afternoon and evening if you are sensitive to those ozone levels. So something to keep in mind. Other than that, though, we will have plenty of sunny skies, those very light south and southwest winds as we go through the day, and those highs climbing through the upper 80s as we head toward early afternoon. We'll be up around 92 late this afternoon, and it's going to be a warm evening as well. But we'll talk more about what's in store for the weekend and when those rain and storm chances do return in just a little bit. But now let's get over to Stacia, checking on that Friday morning traffic.
All right, thanks, Greg. And it is just about that time where we start to see things pick up. You can tell by looking along I-45 northbound at Lamar. Yeah, you have a sea of brake lights out there, so traffic heavy in that area, as we typically see right around 6 a.m. on a weekday. Also want to let you know we do have a stalled vehicle in the downtown area that's affecting I-30. This is right along I-30 eastbound at Cadiz Street, so traffic is slowing down as it's trying to get through there. Another area we're watching is to the south of this, so this is right around I-20. We're seeing things start to pick up I-20 westbound right around the Hutchins area as folks are heading toward the I-45 intersection. Drivers are reporting a stalled vehicle there, so we'll continue to follow that. And also things continue to remain pretty busy along US 80 westbound right there as traffic is approaching 635 in Mesquite. Back to you.
Stacia, thank you. Right now, we're taking a live look at the White House behind us after Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed a potential deal with Iran could reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
But leaders from each country still need to give their stamp of approval.
Natalie Haddad joins us now from the newsroom to walk us through the details of the deal. Natalie.
Hey, good morning. This possible deal comes after days of surprise strikes and escalating attacks, despite a ceasefire currently in place. Now, White House officials say there may be close to an agreement, that would reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway in the Middle East where much of the world's oil and gas supply passes through. And while gas prices have dropped slightly, experts say they could remain higher than normal as long as the strait stays closed. U.S. officials say President Trump has been briefed on a draft agreement that would extend the ceasefire and have Iran slowly reopen the Strait of Hormuz over the next 60 days. In return, the U.S. would gradually scale back its naval blockade of Iranian ports, giving both sides more time to negotiate on a deal. But so far, neither President Trump nor Iran's supreme leader has signed off on the deal. And one major issue still unresolved: Iran's nuclear program, the reason President Trump says he started the war in the first place.
I think it's hard to say exactly when or if the president is going to sign the MOU. We're in a position where we could substantially set back their nuclear program. We're going to keep on working at it.
Reopening the strait could help ease pressure on oil and gas prices worldwide. But with this possible deal, Trump says his main priority is not to lower energy costs. It is making sure Iran does not develop a nuclear weapon.